It's August, people, and true to Samsung's typical release cycle, one of their biggest devices is due for a noteworthy successor to kick off the month. Can you guess what it is? It's the Galaxy Note 9. So, what could Samsung do to improve the almighty Note 8? Let's take a look and find out. The Note 9 predictably looks a lot like its predecessor. Samsung did slim down the bezels a bit more and diamond cut the metal frame on the Note 9 to make the edges shimmer and stand out. But this IP68 water-resistant device looks pretty much identical to the Note 8 until you turn it around. Here you'll see the rearrangement of the fingerprint sensor to below the camera, and the flash and sensors now spread out horizontally. We're happy to see this previously awkward biometric placement has been remedied, all while making the Note 9 just a wee bit sleeker. The display also grew a tenth of an inch to 6.4 inches, and as such carries a slightly lower pixel density at 516 pixels per inch. But other than that, this Quad HD Plus Super AMOLED display is just as gorgeous and detailed as we recall. The Samsung experience remains a worthy alternative to stock Android, as Samsung continues to offer new, interesting experiences like AR emoji, which was first introduced in the Galaxy S9. The S Pen offers its own unique experience, which has added some neat features such as live messages and screen-off memos, first seen in the Note 8 and enhanced slightly in the Note 9. New to the S Pen is a Bluetooth LE module, which allows the digital pen to be used as a remote for controlling YouTube playback, scrolling through your photo gallery, or taking pictures with the front or rear cameras, all from up to 10 meters away from your phone. Long, single, and double presses on the S Pen's S button elicit specific responses, as in the case of YouTube, where a single click pauses or plays the video, and a double click skips to the next video. Samsung's also releasing the SDK for this function so that any app makers who'd like to utilize this functionality can do so. Being able to charge the pen for 40 seconds and use it for a half hour from this also proves that Samsung had fun and productivity in mind for this peripheral. Speaking of peripherals, you also will no longer need a deck stock to utilize this shape-shifting function. Now, only a micro HDMI cable is needed to turn the Note 9 into a DeX hub. As always, the US will get the Snapdragon-toting version of the Galaxy Note 9, while international crowds get Samsung's homebrewed Exynos-powered variant. The base model for both is 6GB of RAM with 128GB storage, while the step-up quadruples storage to 512GB and adds 2GB of RAM for a total of 8, a first in Note's history. Samsung's also made the processor's cooling pipe 3 times larger and put water inside of it, aiding in dissipating the heat. This water-carbon cooling system, as Samsung calls it, coupled with AI-based performance adjustments, should make the Note 9 a blazing performer with a very cool temperament. Samsung's opted to stick with the optically stabilized 12MP telephoto and 12MP wide-angle dual-camera setup on the Galaxy Note 9. But does add variable aperture to the wide angle for better performance in high and low light. On the software side, Samsung has added 2 new features. Scene Optimizer, which uses scene recognition from 20 presets to better capture particular shots, and Flaw Detection, which detects lens smudges, image blur, or someone blinking in a shot, and then alerts you so that you may retake the ruined photo. Samsung also has made improvements on HDR and live focus capture, both aspects of this capable camera setup which we can't wait to test more extensively. Lastly, in the battery department, we're happy to report a 21% increase in size from 3300 mAh to 4000. Being one of the weaknesses we found with the Note 8, we're certainly hoping that, in this instance, bigger means better. The Galaxy Note 9 doesn't have a very tough task before it, unlike the Galaxy Note 8, whose job it was to make us forget all about the Note 7. Instead, the Note 9 needs only improve on the foundation the Note 8 laid, and improve it has. A larger battery, a more capable camera, better cooling, and bigger internals? Sounds good on the hardware front. Additions to the S Pen have expanded its capabilities beyond a writing utensil, and a much easier, less expensive way to use Samsung DeX sounds pretty darn cool too. The Galaxy Note 9 is a seemingly indomitable force in its class, as we found the Note 8 to be. But, as always, stay tuned for our full review to see if the Note 9 truly delivers.